Hi everybody. Welcome to another video. This is my weekly update video. It's also going to be a bit of um, a longer video, bit of storytelling, bit of honesty obviously thrown in there, and obviously in what I intend on doing with my journey going forward. Obviously, I implied in my short video on Friday that the price hikes for Mounjaro that are coming in September is really going to dictate my decision as to what I do. So anyway, let's get into all of that. In an order and not just go on a tangent. So, um, everybody that's been following my journey knows that I have been on Mounjaro from the end of January, and I came off it uh, at the end of July. And the reason I came off it was purely because I went on holiday and I had a 10-night holiday in Tenerife. Now, knowing that I didn't have a pen ready, sitting obviously waiting for when I came home, I made that decision to go on holiday without a pen, knowing that I was going to come back on the 10th ish of August without a pen, and the rest of the month was going to be Manjaro-less. So I knew that was going to be the case. I went on holiday knowing that there was going to be a gain. I was at peace with that. Not saying I'm happy with it, but at the end of the day, I wanted to enjoy my holiday, which I've explained in previous videos. So I did a video last week, which was my update video, which was the first weigh-in after my holiday. We didn't go to Slim and Will because we got back on the Friday morning. Obviously, we go to a Slim Will class on a Friday evening, and we just felt knackered, so we didn't bother going. So I weighed myself in our scales, which told me that I'd gained 2.5 pounds from a holiday, which I thought was fantastic. Unfortunately, went to Slim and World on Friday, and it turns out I've actually gained 4. So yes, it's more than I thought, but it's still a hell of a lot less than what I was expecting. So at this moment in time, as I say, I'm not in Mounjaro, and I've had my first full week. Sorry, I'm just going to adjust the gimbal a little bit here. So I've had my first full week Mounjaro-less, and yes, I feel hungry. I'm not going to sit here and lie to people. Um, am I struggling? No. Um, do I feel like I'm going to struggle? No. And I'm going to tell you why. Because even before this story came out about Mounjaro price hikes, I was seriously thinking about stopping. And the reason why I was seriously thinking about stopping is because uh, I work 2 jobs. Okay. There's a reason why I work 2 jobs. That is something I may go into in the future on a different video to a different theme. Um, Obviously, everyone works 2 jobs because they might need extra money, so it's not hard to work out. But there's obviously reasons behind that. Anyway, so at this moment in time, this year has been a bit of a struggle financially. Um, Again, this is something I might go into on another video where I talk about mental health a bit, but I don't think today's the appropriate video. Anyway, this year's been a bit of a struggle financially. So when we have the start of the year that I had, which was a big blow financially, to then start on Mounjaro, shelling out at the start it was £120 a month, obviously for the first dosage. Now I'm up to 160 when I was on a 10 milliliter pen. So I went on that holiday knowing that there was a very high possibility that I wasn't going to go back on Mounjaro. So my plan was that I was going to really work my arse off to get back on Slim and World and really try and do it the conventional way. And I'm not saying that it's going to be easy. It's not. I've been of this opinion that I lost 3 stone in 6 months. And I'm going to be brutally honest. Yes, it was great, and I do feel 100% better. Don't get me wrong, but I know in my head that I could have lost that 3 stone on Slim and World if I'd really just got my mind in the right place. So for me, and for obviously our household, for Catherine doing it as well, the thought of shelling out £320 out of our budgets a month, because Catherine works 2 jobs also, um, it's started to really grind on us. So I've made that decision now that I'm not going to go back onto Manjaro, and I made that decision before these price hikes. Now the price hikes has really cemented that idea. Having to pay upwards of £330 of what pen I was on. You're talking £660 out of our budget. It's just not possible. I want to enjoy my life. um, and I'm enjoying my life more as I lose weight, yes, but I want to enjoy the fruits of being able to go and do nice things with my family, without having to shell out £660 on a weight loss supplement, which is medicine, which helps and it works. And I've advocated. I am a positive advocate for Manjaro, and I'm not for 1 minute sitting here saying that nobody should do it. If you've got the money and you can afford to do it, continue to do it. Please do it. But I can't. And there's people out there in my comments, obviously on the last video, said that they can't do it as well. Now, I got diagnosed as type 2 diabetic, and I've mentioned this on my channel before that I can't get referred by the NHS. The doctor we wouldn't do it. That might change when I go for my second bloods. I'm due to go for my yearly checkup, obviously in December. But I'm not pinning all my hopes on the fact that he may or may not, refer me for it. So I've really made that decision that this is the end of the road for Mounjaro for me. Um, but because it's the end of my Mounjaro journey, doesn't mean it's the end of my weight loss journey. Um, I know that there's work to do, and I've been open and honest on this channel since day one. I started doing it. That day one started doing Mounjaro journey. Obviously, people might look at my old videos from 10 years ago when I was talking about Newcastle United and talking about, video games and stuff like that. And I've kept all those videos on here because I don't see any reason to get rid. Do you know what I mean? That was the dream I had 10 years ago, and I gave up on that a long time ago. And I only started doing these because of encouragement from family and from my partner that it would be good to keep a video log of my progress. And then once I realized with that first video that a lot of people were commenting and saying that they found my honesty refreshing, and my story and everything like that, and it was they wanted to follow it. And I thought, you know what it is, I don't mind doing an update video for everybody every week. It's not easy to be a guy of my size, um, putting himself out on the internet like I am in a public forum, on YouTube. um, and telling you about a weight loss journey that I'm hoping is going to be successful. I'm opening myself up to abuse. I accept that. Thankfully, I haven't received any. Everyone's been, beautiful. You're all lovely people, and just because I've decided that I don't want to do Mounjaro anymore, I really hope he's continued to follow my channel, because it's going to be a weight loss journey going forward, and I'm still going to be doing these videos every week because I'm still going to be pushing myself. It's going to be a struggle to adjust, obviously, from having the medicine in my system and not having the medicine, and I know that, and it's going to be difficult, but I'm really going to really try, because I've still got type 2 diabetes, and I don't want to have type 2 diabetes. You know what I mean? I know it can be reversed. And I know that if I work hard, I can get the weight off myself. I need to get off my backside and go and do some exercise. I need to get off my backside and eat the right things. Let's be honest. Let's be honest here. That's the main thing. I love me junk food just as much as anybody, and I love me bad food just as much as anybody else. You know, People who know me will vouch. I love a pizza and I love all that sort of stuff. But the time has come to, look at it properly. And yeah, obviously my portion control went down. My portions went down, obviously, with Manjaro. I really need to just try and stick to that. And I know if I get past the first couple of weeks of the food noise coming back, I should be okay. And I'd really hope everybody follows me, because I'm determined to do a real journey here. And you know what one of my major goals is, and I sit here and gets me upset because I've mentioned on this channel about during COVID and like 2021, I've really got into running. And then when I moved in with Catherine, obviously getting together during COVID, when everything closed, we just went mental and put loads of weight on. But I get upset when I think about obviously how good I was with my running, and I've got a target that I really would want this. I want to come true. I cannot run at the minute because I feel if I do, I'm going to hurt my knees, and I don't want to hurt my knees, and it's frustrating me because I just want to go out and get a proper sweat on. Do you know what I mean? And my big goal is to go for a run with my dad by the end of the year. And I know he probably watches this and he's thinking, oh, well, my dad's a great runner. He can run, half marathons dead easy and gets in from a 12-hour shift at work and goes for a quick 5K and it's nothing. But if he was to run at my pace, he doesn't even break a sweat, but he would do it because he's like the best coach I've ever had. And he got me to the stage of running. I ran 10Ks without stopping, and the furthest I ran without stopping was 6.5 miles. And I was so proud of myself. And I look back at, I used the Strava app and all of these like updates come on. So it like shows you a run from, 5 years ago. And it's a run where I was pushing myself. And I just think, oh, it makes me feel okay. I get upset thinking about because I look at how much weight I've put on since then. I've gained about, I could be honest, I've gained about 6-7 stone since then. And it's just through damned laziness, like working from home and all that. But I've lost 3 of that now, um, I'm determined to keep going and I will keep going. So getting off that subject, obviously I don't want this to be such a negative video. I know it's a longer video and I do apologize and I really hope people are sticking with me here. I just want to get people's opinions on what and now the news has come out and everyone's digested it and there might be a bit of red mist in people's first opinions on what was going on. What are you genuinely going to do? Are you staying on Mounjaro? Have you really given it some thought, or is that the end for you? If it's the end for you, can you all let me know what you're going to do? Because obviously I'm going to follow Slimming World. I'm going to really keep a track of everything. I know a lot of people do calorie counting. A lot of people use a guy called Team. He's got an app called Team RH, where it's like a full calorie counting. I know that you can put the GLP-1 diet in there, as if you're still on it. I just want to get people's opinions and get people's ideas on what they're doing. Is intermittent fasting good? I've always thought of this. Like, seen comments, people doing fasting for like 2 days. The 5 and 2. I'm not. I don't want to mix it up. Like I said, genuinely, I'm going to stick to Slimming World because it does work and it's worked with work for me in the past. But yeah, I just want to hear people's views on what you're going to continue to do. And I'd really hope everybody sticks by me and continues to watch my videos. I'm going to do a video tonight with Catherine. We're going to go through our weekly plan and how we're going to plan our meals for the week, just to show everyone how we're going to do it. So yes, Catherine's kind of making a debut. She's not going to come on camera, but she will speak. So keep an eye out for that. And I'm trying to come up with ideas to get Catherine on. Eleanor, my daughter, on the channel again. If these are all things that people want to see, please just let me know. I don't want to make stuff that people don't want to watch. And I really hope you stick around and see my journey as I continue to go. Because this £4 I've gained from holiday, I'm determined I'm going to lose the bulk of that in this next week. So there'll be updates every Sunday, and I'm going to be doing videos during the week just to get, out there in terms of what I do. I'm going to do exercise videos. I'm going to do, things that I eat during the day, and I'm going to really, really make this a journey for people, for me to be proud of, and for people to look back on and think, hey, Robert, you've done fantastic. And that's, all I want really is to do well for myself, and I just want to help anybody who, might be like might be the same size as me, but struggling, but doesn't know what to do. Anyway, thanks very much for watching as always. I'm sorry it's a longer video. I felt like there's a lot that I needed to talk about. But yeah, we'll get through it together. And I'll speak to you later.